Alright, I had to take a quick break, but this is Warlock Reviews. I want to cover something that really bothers me. And before I do that, I want you to like, subscribe, definitely share. Share my daggone videos with your friends, and let's get to it, Will, shall we? Alrighty. So, here's where I am with it. When we were young, we used to rely on the news to give us or tell us what's going on in the world. We looked at them as being somewhat of a factual media to tell us the truth about what's going on and how things are going in the world and what have you. It was a place that we could go to try to get facts. But the older I got, the more I realized that certain channels, not the local channels, but the national, the international channels, had a personal agenda. Now, what's happened recently with the president getting coronavirus and this whole coronavirus pandemic thing and how he's handled it and some of the things that he said and the way that the news has been reported. The international news medias, namely CNN and Fox News Network, they have two separate polarizing views on things. Now, you can look at things one way and then you can look at it from another's point of view. It's like telling somebody, well, I have my point of view and you have yours. But they should all both be based on the facts of what the situation actually is. And if you're good enough, you can turn a person's words against them. If you're good enough, and you can destroy their point of view or their interpretation of what was said just by doing that, if you stay with the facts. Now, mind you, CNN is, I don't want to say Democratic, and I don't want to say that Fox News is Republican, but CNN seems to have a fondness or like Joe Biden, and Fox News likes Donald Trump. Now, here's the thing. I was watching the news the other night, and I flipped back between the two to see who's telling the biggest lies. And this guy named Tucker Carlson from Fox News, he made, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm just going to let you watch it, let you hear what he says. And this is the typical turning of, well, this is a really bad attempt at trying to switch words on people. But here's Fox News, Tucker Carlson, trying to say something that makes CNN look like they're the bad guys. And I want your opinion on what you think.
Across the world tonight, people are praying that we will learn good news about the president's condition. Over at CNN, however, we were told again and again that the president deserved the sickness that he got. And they trotted out unusual hacks to explain why he deserved it.
A lot of people have been put in jeopardy by the president's behavior, and now we've learned, of course, this morning that one of those people is the president himself.
But he just couldn't get over the fact that in his mind, the mask equals weakness, equals I'm not on top of this virus.
So perhaps a bit of a shock this morning for Americans, but not necessarily a surprise.
It is also the most vivid possible demonstration of the incompetence and the irresponsibility of the administration.
In large part, it's his own dereliction is partly to blame for this. He chose to go out to rallies.
Imagine. He just announced he was infected. He just got to Walter Reed. He deserved it. They didn't wait long. Of course, millions of Americans have been diagnosed with the coronavirus. Probably people you know, probably people in your family. We can say that. Hundreds of thousands have died. CNN's expert panelists are saying they all deserved it. They must have. They were careless. They were derelict in their duties. If there was a lesson from the coverage of this, it's a very familiar lesson. The media class is willing to attack the rest of the country if they think it will hurt the president they despise, if they think it will give them more political power. And of course, it wasn't just the media. In fact, the official message of the Democratic Party is that Donald Trump had it coming.
We all receive that news with great sadness. I always pray for the president and his family that they're safe. I continue to do so more intensified. This is tragic. It's very sad. But it also is something that again, going into crowds, unmasked and all the rest, was sort of a brazen invitation for something like this to happen.
Brazen invitation. He asked for it. He was dressed provocatively. That's what Nancy Pelosi has told you. Many other Democrats are echoing that sentiment.
Okay, so you heard all of that. Now you tell me. Now, first of all, before I even get into that, I want to say this. I don't wish death on Donald Trump. I don't wish death on anybody. I really don't wish anybody to catch this disease. Well, to catch this virus. Because it can be extremely freaking devastating. No matter how much you don't like a person, it can be devastating. So let me get that out the way first and foremost. It's not that I like Donald Trump. But I never wish for him to catch it. I don't wish for anybody to catch it. Let's just say that. But where in any of those statements did you hear anybody saying anything about they wish that he would die or that he deserved to catch it? What I hear is that people were saying that because of his actions he got it, or because of his lack of action he got it, or the way that he went about this virus he got it. That's what I hear. I don't hear anybody saying that he deserved to get it, that he should die from it. Now, they showed tweets from people. Now, social media is a whole different thing. That's not CNN. That's people on the media, and they try to tie all of that in and all of that stuff. But this is my contrast to what Fox News will say and what people actually say, and how they try to go at the other network that likes Biden and the people that go after. Well, CNN really doesn't go after Fox. They just go after what they actually say. And they don't try to twist it or what have you, but that's what they do. But my question to you is this. Outside of what Tucker Carlson said about the little clip that you just saw, if you didn't, you can rewind it. How are we supposed to trust the news media when they're supposed to be an impartial reporters, when you have news media that strictly is for one person and definitely against the other? How can you trust that news media to give you or to report to you what actually is? You have to go between CNN and Fox and pull out of it yourself what you think the truth is when it should be the opposite way around. That's why I try to get people to read, to do your own research, and to believe yourself. That's what I try to get people to do. But you want to go in there and listen to CNN, okay, fine. You want to go and listen to Fox News, that's fine. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, this vote is too important for us all to just sit back, listen to what somebody tells us is the truth without doing your own research. Now, mind you, me personally, just in the past 3 or 4 months, my opinion's changed, and I'm not going to tell you which one it is, which way it changed to. Whether it was for Biden, against Biden, for Trump, or against Trump. I'm not going to say that. Politicians lie. You know, they that's what they do. But I'll just say it like this. You vote for who you want to vote for, but understand something. Whoever you vote for, make sure you don't vote for it because of skin color. Well, you can't now because both of them are white. But you don't vote for it because of skin color. You don't vote for it because of their religious beliefs or their religious backgrounds. You vote. And this is not only for the president. This is for your sheriffs, your judges, your congressmen, your senators, and all of that. You need to vote your conscience. Now, I'm going to touch on this briefly, and I may touch on it again before the election. But black people. I'm not saying vote Democrat, Republican, Independent, or what have you. But we need to get to a point where as though we are not locked into a party. We need to be locked into a person, no matter whether they're Republican, Democrat, Independent, working class, whatever, grassroots, whatever the hell the party is that they represent. We need to get together and make sure that they represent us. They represent what we want, what we need, what we're asking for. And if they can't represent us, or they don't have an agenda that's similar to ours, they don't get our vote. We move on to the next person. We need to come up with a 10-point agenda. A 10-point agenda that these politicians have to meet, or meet the majority of that 10-point agenda to get our vote. Because if we don't, we're going to be stuck, we're going to be locked in, and we're going to continuously vote for people that do not have our best interests at heart. We have to do that. Nobody else can do that for us. We have the power to do that. Now, mind you, I somewhat got off a topic, but my whole point of this video is don't rely on the news media to tell you the truth. You have to do your own research. You have to look. You have to read. You have to listen. You have to do a whole lot of things that we evidently have not been doing because of the simple fact that we keep voting the way that we are supposed to vote. Just think about it. How many times have you voted for somebody just because someone told you to? How many of y'all actually out there take the time to go and research the candidates? How many times have you sat there and said, what is it that we need as black people in our leaders? And how many times have we actually did that and then stuck by it to vote for who we vote for. I understand we're that go. We're all about our lives. We're all about getting things done or what have you. But honestly, this year, you have no excuse because your behind has been sitting home with this COVID-19 thing. A lot of us, not all of you. Thank you for my first responders and my frontline workers. I appreciate the job that you're doing. But for the rest of us that's been sitting home, you have had nothing but time. So after this election, don't blame anybody but yourself. I'm going to end that here because I'm getting ready to go off on a whole nother rant. And that can be saved for another video, hopefully closer to the election as things come out. But my whole thing was, don't rely on the news media. My name is Warlock. This is Warlock Views. Be true to yourself, because without that, you can't be true to nobody else. I'll see you in the next video. Deuces.